Welcome, fellow bookworms, to Tibra's Den. My name is Whitney, and this is Anya. And today we are filming my Once Upon a TBR Hunny Jar game, which is how I choose my TBR. We are filming for the month of September, which is my birthday month, so I'm going to be changing things up just a little bit. And Ani is actually my birthday present from 3 years ago. She just turned 3. Actually, at the time I'm filming this, a couple days ago. I'm filming in mid-July because I'm getting my wisdom teeth pulled the very last day in July, and then I normally film like a month in advance, so the very beginning of the month I'm doing all my filming and such. And since I'll have my wisdom teeth pulled, I won't be able to do that. So I'm filming this early. And so she just had her birthday, and then she was actually a birthday present for me 3 years ago. And so I thought it was fitting. If I have any dog picks, Anya will definitely be the one choosing. If I don't have any dog picks, I might do one anyway, just because that way she can choose a book anyway. But yeah, she's just gonna be chilling back here, snoozing. She likes to lay behind me while I'm filming a lot. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I am not gonna be doing the genres, so each color has a genre associated with it. Since it is my birthday month, I'm not gonna be doing that, because I want it to be a little bit more open so I can read, some of the books that I really, really want to. But I love my game so much, so I am still going to be doing the honey jar prompts. And then, depending if it starts looking like it's going to get a little long, I might move double the squares. So right now, if I pull 2 of the same color in a row, or 3 colors within the game of the same color within the game, I get to move 2 squares. I might do that anyway if the game is looking a little long, just because I want September to be a little bit more open. So we'll just kind of see how it goes, but genre-wise, I don't have to worry about it. Other than my genre-thon pick, which genre-thon is my readathon, which is all year long, and each month we are focused on different genres or age ranges, just trying to get outside of my comfort zone a little bit. And for September, I went with kind of the alliteration theme. So I did Starry September, and the prompts are to either read a sci-fi or a short story collection. And so the book I chose actually fits for both of those, and that is Gleanings by Neil Shusterman. This is a short story collection in the universe of the Ark of Sight series. Um, and short story collections are not my favorite, but I'm hoping, since it's a companion to the series, that I'll enjoy it a little bit more, because you get that depth from the series. That's kind of what I don't like about short stories. They're so short, you don't get a lot of depth to them. So I'm really, really hoping I do enjoy this, but either way, it will finish up that series for me. And so I'm excited to read this and have this as my very first book for September. But let's go ahead and set up the game board and do the gameplay. All right, we're all set up, and I do have my reward token that I earned in June, so I can forego a honey jar prompt if I want to. Not likely to, since we're not doing genres this round, but if I want to, I do have that. We did also get poo last time, so if I roll another 2, I can re-roll if I choose to, which if I get another poo, I definitely will. And then just a reminder, if I get a 1, it's Christopher Robin, which is a coming of age or middle grade and younger. Pooh is classic or comfort read, and that's if I roll 2. 3 is Piglet, and then that's an auto by author or a reread. And 4 is Rabbit, which is a free choice. Of course, we're not doing genres this round, but if we do land on black, we will still move forward the 3 spaces. But otherwise, we're not doing genres at all, so we don't have to worry about that. And yeah, let's see which character we're gonna get. We're definitely not getting Pooh. Like I said, if I get Pooh, I'm re-rolling. We get Pooh all the time, so. And we got we got Pooh. So let's try that again. And not playing Pooh this round. Oh my goodness. I think it's balanced that way. So I always get Pooh. There we go. That time we got a 4, which is Rabbit, which is perfect since it's my birthday month, because my channel name, I'm a rabbit on the Chinese zodiac sign. So Rabbit is free choice. So I can pick absolutely anything I want for that. All right, so let's move Rabbit forward here and move the others back a little bit. And let's see what our first hole is. Shake that up a little bit. And we get blue. So that only moves us a 1. That's not very far, but that's okay. And we need, go ahead and come right here. Nice. So we got Anastasia, which is family heirlooms. All right. Hopefully we get bigger moves than that this game. That was pitiful. All right. Let's go ahead and do this one. Nice. So this is a black. So we get to come all the way up here and then 1, 2, 3. That was a nice big move. Love it. And we need, and do that one's coming through. Okay, so this is a bookworm and it's through the ages challenge. We've already had 1950, but I'll do a random generator and we'll see what decade we are going to be in this time. All right, that was a nice big move. I love to see it. I'm feeling better now. Let's do this one. And it is a red. So just come right here. And for that, I'm going to go right in the middle here. Nice. So this is another bookworm and it's chapter titles. So just any book that has chapter titles. All right. This one. And that's an orange, which we could come and sit on the bench for a minute with Pooh. And we need, go ahead and do this one. Oh, nice. So this is, what is it called? Treasure Island. I forget the character's name, but it just needs to be a teen protagonist. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Ew, my fingers are sticking. So another blue. And so we get to come right here. And we need, oh, that one's jumping out. So this is cute. So this is Lady and the Tramp, and so it needs to have a stray animal. All right. Do this one. So another orange. It's right there. And this one we need. Go ahead and do this here. Okay, so this is Rumpelstiltskin, so we need the Brothers Grimm, which this one's very specific. I literally read from the Brothers Grimm fairy tales, so. Alright. Let's see what we got. And another orange, so this is double and the third. So we actually get to move 2 squares, 1 and 2. And this is rabbit to next red, so we actually even get to go further. Perfect. Like those big moves. There is that, and we'll go with this one. Oh, nice. So this is a bookworm, and it's a booktube pick, and so I'll go on booktube and see what I can find and pick a book from there. All right. Liking the big moves. That's what I was hoping for. We'll do this one, which is a green. Just right here. And we need, go with this one. Aw, so this is Brother Bear, and it's brotherly love, so just something that has brothers in it. Okay, let's see what we get next. And we get a red, which doesn't move us very far. Just right here, and that is special, but it's piglet, not rabbit, so we don't get to move. And we need this one. Nice! I was hoping this would come up. So we got the fox and the hound, and we get a dog pick, so Ani will be picking for us. Alright, we're getting close. Let's see what we get next. And do this one. So that is yellow. This is right here. And we need, and do this one. Oh, nice. So this is the lost city of Atlantis, and so it just needs to be underwater. All right, we're getting real close to the end here. Let's see what we get. And this one. Oops. red fell out, but we pulled purple. So that just moves us 1. Put this red back in that fell out. Got stuck to my fingers. It's a little hot today. All right, so we need this one. Oh, I like this one. So we got Simba Nala, and we need childhood sweethearts. Okay. Oh, I always do that. I always end up grabbing the honey jar instead of the discs. Okay, let's see what we get here. I'll do this one. And so that is blue. And so we go there. And we need, I saw that, so I'm not going to pull that one. Let's do this. Oh, nice. So this is rabbit, and it's a completely free choice. I can pick whatever I want. Okay. All right. Let's see what we get here. Hoping for black, red, or blue, because then it'll be the last pull. See this one? And it's a green. We can't use that, so that goes off to the side. I'll pull again. Do this one. Yellow. Can't use it, so that goes off to the side. Let's do this one. And we get our blue, which means we're done with the game. And so the blue needs to be, do this one. Okay. So extinct animals, this is Ice Age. So we'll see what I can find for that. And then, of course, these 2 discs that we couldn't use, I just have to find a book based on the number 2. So that is it for the game. I'm going to go ahead and choose my books, and then I will be right back. All right, I have my stack of books. It is quite quite the stack. There's a good mix of books in here, and I'm really excited for what I got. I think it's going to be a great month. I got a lot of books that I've been really interested in reading on there, and so I'm really excited. So let's go ahead and show you what we got. So of course, before we get fully into it, just a reminder from my genre-a-thon, I already had this on my TBR. This is Gleanings by Neil Shusterman, which is just a collection of short stories that go along with the Arc of a Scythe series. This one, the Arc of a Scythe, you have this world where there's no more natural death. Humanity has beaten that, and so you have scythes who glean people in order to keep the population down. But of course, there's a lot of moral questions that go along with that. And so the series is really fun, and I'm really happy to have this to read and finish it up, as I've already talked about at the beginning of the video. And so then first we got Rabbit. We rolled Pooh, but per my rules, I rolled until I got a different character because we had Pooh last month, and we get Pooh a lot. So I got Rabbit, which is perfect for my birthday month because Rabbit is a free choice. I am a rabbit based on the Chinese zodiac, which is my channel name is a rabbit spelled backwards. So we love to see the rabbit representation. So I could pick anything for this, and I decided to go with Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. I've been wanting to read this for so long. I bought it, and it's just been sitting there, and I always am eyeballing it. And so this was an easy pick. And so basically in this one, I want to read it, but I don't fully know. So you have chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott would be the first to point out that there is no such thing as an average woman. But it's the early 1960s, and her all-male team at Hastings Research Institute takes a very unscientific view of equality. Except for one, Calvin Evans, the lonely, brilliant, Nobel Prize-nominated grudge holder who falls in love with, of all things, her mind. True chemistry results. Like science, though, life is unpredictable, which is why a few years later, Elizabeth Zott finds herself not only a single mother, but also the reluctant star of America's most beloved cooking show, Supper at 6. Elizabeth's unusual approach to cooking, combine 1 table acetic acid with a pinch of sodium chloride, proves revolutionary, but as her following grows, not everyone is happy. So as it turns out, Elizabeth Zott isn't just teaching women to cook, she's daring them to change the status quo. So yeah, I'm really excited to finally be able to read this. Definitely perfect for my birthday month. So then we got Blue, which again, genres don't matter this time, so it was just basically for movement. And we got Anastasia, which was Family Heirlooms, which I had the perfect book for this. So I'm going to be finally reading The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This has been very popular, this whole series. And I've had this for a while. I found it at a thrift store and I've had it for a while, but I haven't had a chance to read it. And so this was the perfect one to put in for this prompt. And so you have Avery Grams has a plan for a better future, survive high school, win a scholarship, and get out. But her luck changes in an instant when billionaire Tobias Hawthorne dies and leaves her virtually his entire fortune. The only catch? Avery must move into his sprawling mansion full of secret passages, riddles, and codes. Unfortunately for Avery, Hawthorne House is also occupied by the family that Tobias Hawthorne just disinherited. This includes the 4 Hawthorne grandsons, dangerous, magnetic boys who grew up with every expectation that one day they would inherit billions. Heir apparent Grayson Hawthorne is convinced that Avery must be a con woman, and he's determined to take her down. But his brother Jameson views her as their grandfather's last hurrah, a twisted riddle, a puzzle to be solved. Caught in a world of wealth and privilege with danger around every turn, Avery will have to play the game herself just to survive this twisty, thrilling new mystery. So, yeah, finally gonna be jumping on that bandwagon. And of course, if I enjoy it, I'll continue on with the series. So, then we got a black, which moved us forward 3 to a green square. And we got a bookworm, and it was the Through the Ages challenge. So we've gotten that before. This one always goes back in. And for this, I'll insert a screenshot here, but I rolled 1886. So anytime in the 1880s, the book needed to be published. I had 2 options on my shelf. I could have gone with Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. I do have that collection. But I also had King Solomon's Mines by H. Rider Haggard. And I thought I'm more likely to read Huckleberry Finn than I am this one. And so I thought this would be a good one. I was looking, it's not very long, it's like 200 something pages, and it's not very dense. Because that was kind of a concern, and I didn't want to add it on a dense book. But it does sound really, really interesting. So let's see here. An ominous line of clouds was blowing in from the north. See, when Rider Haggard boarded the Norfolk train to London, it was December 1884, and all about him holiday revelers were completing their last-minute shopping lists and planning Christmas dinners. If the gangly 28-year-old seemed less festive than his fellow travelers, it was because he had yet to find his proper niche in life. He had been reading the law in London and in his Norfolk home, although in truth had no real desire to be a barrister. To amuse himself in the midst of these studies, he had also written 2 novels. Neither of them had sold well. Ryder was a married man with 3 young children, little income, and alarming debts. Nonetheless, the prospect of spending his future in the musty law office left his spirits as leaden as a gray winter sky. To occupy hours on the journey, Haggard and one of his brothers began to discuss Treasure Island, and Robert Louis Stevenson's novel that had recently become a worldwide bestseller. Ryder said he felt the book was overrated. Well, snapped his brother, I'd like to see you write anything half as good. Bet you a bob you can't. Done, Ryder said, and so it was that in January 1885 he began to write an adventure of all his own. And from what I know, this is following a group, and they're in, I think, South Africa, and they're trying to find these fabled mines. So it's kind of like a treasure hunt adventure. And so yeah, I'm really excited to give this a try and see what I think about it, since it's been, sitting on the shelf and I've never read it. So that is my choice there. Then we got a red, and for this one, it was a bookworm, and the book just needed chapter titles. So literally very, very easy. I just needed to find something that had chapter titles. And for this one, I'm going with The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This is another one I've wanted to read for a very long time. My sister read it, and she recommended that I pick it up. And so, yeah, now is finally the time to do it. So it says, we all have regrets, choices we could have made differently, paths we didn't take, other lives we might have led. But what if you were given a chance to fix your past? enter the Midnight Library. Nora's life has been going from bad to worse. Then at the stroke of midnight, on her last day on Earth, she finds herself transported to the Midnight Library, where each book contains an alternate life, a possible world in which she made different choices. She is given what seems like the ultimate opportunity, a chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived. But things aren't always what she imagined they'd be, and soon her choices place the library and herself in extreme danger. Before time runs out, she must answer the ultimate question. With infinite choices, which is the best way to live? Let me see. So it doesn't even have chapter numbers. So you can see right there it has the chapter titles. So that is my choice for that. Pretty straightforward. And again, like I said, another one I'm really, really excited to read. So then we got an orange. And for this one, we got Treasure Island, which is kind of funny that I'm reading King Solomon mine since it's kind of based off that. And this is teen protag. So it just needs to be a teenager that's the main character. And for this one, I'm going to go with Vita Nostra by Marina and Sergey Dyachenko, translated by Julia Meitov Hersey. This is another one. I've really been enjoying Russian literature this year. I've read several and just loved each one. And so I'm really, really excited to give this a read as well. It says, while vacationing on the beach with her mother, so she's a teenager, Sasha Samokina meets the mysterious ferret Kozhennikov and finds herself powerless to refuse when this unusual, vaguely sinister man directs her to perform a task with potentially scandalous consequences. He rewards her with a strange gold coin. As the days progress, Sasha carries out other acts for which she receives more coins from Kozhennikov. As the summer ends, her domineering mentor directs her to use her gold to enter the Institute of Special Technologies in a remote village. Against her mother's wishes, Sasha leaves behind all that is familiar. She quickly discovers the Institute's special technologies are unlike anything she has ever encountered. The books are impossible to read, the lessons are obscure to the point of maddening, and the world refuses to memorization. Using terror and coercion, the school does not punish students directly for their transgressions and failures. Instead, their families pay a terrible price. Yet, despite her fear, Sasha undergoes changes that defy the dictates of matter and time, experiences which are like nothing she has ever dreamed of, and suddenly all she could ever want. A brilliant dark fantasy combining psychological suspense, enchantment, and terror. This international acclaimed Russian novel receives its definitive English language translation. So I'm pretty positive I'm gonna love this. I like kind of like dark psychology books, and yeah, just really ready to read that. So then we got a blue, and this was Lady and the Tramp, and it was Stray Animal. And so for this, I knew exactly what book I wanted to go with. It was a very easy pick. I'm going to be finally reading The One and Only Ruby by Katherine Applegate. So Bob here, his book was the second one. So the first book is The One and Only Ivan. Then you have The One and Only Bob. And Bob is a stray. He was a stray, and then in the second book, there's like an animal shelter and such. So that works, even though Ruby is an elephant and she's not a stray. Bob represents that perfectly. So I'm really, really excited to read this one. So basically, you have Ivan, Bob, and Ruby. Well, Ivan and Ruby were part of a Big Top Mall exhibit, and then they got rescued, and Bob went and lived with the little girl and her father and such. And so the first one was told from Ivan's point of view, and then you had Bob's point of view, and now it's going to be Ruby's point of view. So I'm really, really excited to read this. These books are so cute, and they open up a good avenue. Like, if you do have children, like, they're fun for adults, don't get me wrong, but if you do have children, it's a good opportunity to talk about animal welfare and such. So really, really cute books. I love the illustrations and everything. So finally going to be finishing up that series with Ruby's story. Then we had another orange, and for this one we got Rumpelstiltskin, which was Brothers Grimm, Normally for this one, I would just read my collection of Brothers Grimm fairy tales, just read some of the fairy tales from there. But I really wasn't feeling that this month, and so I'm going to kind of tweak it a little bit. So I'm actually going to be reading Spinning Silver, which is based on Rumpelstiltskin. So that's what I'm going with. That's how I'm interpreting it, because I really didn't feel like reading the fairy tales. And this is by Naomi Novik. I have never read anything by this author. I do have another book, A Deadly Education, by this author as well. Both these I found at the thrift store. Spinning Silver and the other one, Uprooted, are two that I have been interested in. So when I saw this at the thrift store, I was very excited because I can finally give it a try. So for this one, says, with the Nebula Award-winning Uprooted, Naomi Novik opened a brilliant new chapter in an already acclaimed career, delving into the magic of fairy tales to craft love-spinning story that was both timeless and utterly of the now. Spinning Silver draws reader deeper into this glittering realm of fantasy, where the boundary between wonder and terror is thinner than a breath, and safety can be stolen as quickly as a kiss. Miriam is the daughter and granddaughter of moneylenders, but her father's inability to collect his debts has left his family on the edge of poverty, until Miriam takes matters into her own hands. Hardening her heart, the young woman sets out to claim what is owed, and soon gains a reputation for being able to turn silver into gold. With an ill-advised boast draws the attention of the king of the Staryic, grim fey creatures who see more ice than flesh. Miriam's fate and that of the two kingdoms will be forever altered. Set an impossible challenge by the nameless king, Miriam unwittingly spins a web that draws in a peasant girl, Wanda, and the unhappy daughter of a local lord who plots to wed his child to the dashing young Tsar. But the Tsar Mirnatius is not what he seems, and the secret he hides threatens to consume the hands of humans and Starrick alike. Torn between deadly choices, Miriam and her two unlikely allies embark on a desperate quest that will take them to the limits of sacrifice, power, and love. So, yeah, I'm excited to finally give Naomi Novik's writing a chance, and I'm glad I'm starting with this one because this is probably the one I'm most interested in reading. So then we got another orange, which it was our second in a row, and it was the third orange, so we gotta move forward 2 spaces, and then that landed us on a special square, and we gotta move rabbit forward even more, so it was a good move, loved it. And this one was pretty straightforward. It was a bookworm, and it's just a booktube pick. So what I did, I went on YouTube, and I typed in booktube. I'll insert it here, and I just went to the first shorts that popped up because it was what she was reading. And this is by a creator named Sasha E. Sloan. And I actually don't follow her on YouTube, but I do follow her on TikTok because I really like, she does this fan fiction for Harry Potter, like the older group, and recreates it and such, and it's so much fun to watch. So I was really happy to see her pop up. There's 3 options for what she showed in the video. I'm going to be reading Red Rising in August, so I could have gone with the second one in that series since she mentioned Red Rising, and that's by Pierce Brown. She also mentioned Horse Follow Closely, I think is what it's called. I wrote it, yeah. And that's by Guani Ponyboy. And that one I was interested in because I actually have the Briar Horse. And so I think I have 2 of them. I think there was 2 that came out. And so I was kind of interested in that. I was looking though, and that one's a little bit pricey. Trying to be better about my book spending. And so I don't think I'm going to go with that one, but I might go with the second one, which is called Golden Sun in the Red Rising series. The other option, which I'm leaning towards, I'm most likely going to go with this one, but I can change it, is Open Book by Jessica Simpson. And I know, like, if it's still there, somebody might have picked it up, but the books don't generally move very fast at that thrift store. But I saw that one at the thrift store, so I'm going to try to go in. If it's still there, I'm definitely going to go with that one, or I'll look and see how expensive it is on Audible, because I really don't necessarily, like, if I can find out at the thrift store, it's like 35 cents, so really affordable. or I might listen to it via Audible. Otherwise, like I said, I'll go with Golden Sun. So that one's kind of open, but I'm I'm interested in reading Jessica Simpson, and this kind of gives me the push to do it, because I'm not so interested that I would go out and buy it, but I am kind of intrigued. So if it's still at the thrift store, definitely gonna go with that one. So then we got a green, and for this one we got Brother Bear and we got Brotherly Love. Love that. And so for this one, I decided to go with Skin Game by Jim Butcher. This is one of the last ones in the Dresden Files series that I need to read. I have 3 more of this one, and then the last 2. I think there's more coming out, like there's a final trilogy that's supposed to come out. But I've been trying to finish up the Dresden Files for so long. This one, it just hasn't been able to be squeezed in. And so I do want to take the opportunity to put it directly onto the TBR. And this one, you have him and his brother. His brother plays a big part in the books, and so it's perfect for that. And so basically, the Dresden File, you have Harry Dresden, and he is a wizard PI, and so he investigates like magical happenings and kind of helps the police department and such. And throughout the series, it's kind of gotten more, there's something happening behind the scenes. And so it's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And so each book's kind of a different case he's kind of focusing on. But as we've gotten farther in, it's all kind of getting tied together. So really, really excited to continue on with this one, and then hopefully I can read the last 2 and get this series done this year, because I am definitely ready to be done with it. I have been enjoying it. I got a little really burnt out, took a huge break from it, because of the last one, not the last one I read, but the one before that. I just didn't really enjoy it, and I was already getting burnt out. But the last one I read I did enjoy, so I am ready to continue on. So that one, as soon as I knew Brotherly Love, that's the one I went for. Then we had one of my favorites, so we got another red, and we got another dog pick. I love the dog picks. I have several in there, and they always go back in. So this one is The Fox and the Hound. And so since Ani was my birthday girl recently, and she's the one, I have Nidra here now, she's down there, Anya is. But she's the one that I got for my birthday. I had her choose, and release her choose, and I let her choose between In the Lives of Puppets, Portrait of a Thief, and I already spoiled it for you. I also let her choose for The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and obviously, as you will see, she chose The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So these, all 3 of these are ones that I'm really interested in reading. They've kind of been ones I've been wanting to read for a while, but honestly, out of the 3, I'm most excited to read this, so that worked out really well that she chose that. And so this one, you have France 1714. In a moment of desperation, a young woman makes a Faustian bargain to live forever, and is cursed to be forgotten by everyone she meets. Thus begins the extraordinary life of Addie LaRue, and a dazzling adventure that will play out across the centuries and continents, across history and art, as a young woman learns how far she will go to leave her mark on the world. But everything changes when, after nearly 300 years, Addie stumbles across a young man in a hidden bookstore, and he remembers her name. So, yeah, I've only read one book by V. Schwab, that was Gallant. Really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to reading something a little bit more mature from her. And so this one, I'm really glad Anya picked that for me. She's a good girl. Then we have a yellow, and this one was Atlantis, and we got Underwater. So excited for that one. And this one, again, I knew exactly what I wanted to pick. So for this one, really cute. I'm looking forward to this. I got this a couple months ago, and we're going to be reading A Field Guide to Mermaids by Emily B. Martin. And so this is really cute. It's like you have different types of mermaids, and kind of like the environment they live, and like little facts. So even though it's like fantasy, it's written kind of as like, a book if you're reading about frogs or, whatever, dogs, whatever the case may be. But it's all about mermaids, like Sandy Coast mermaids right there. Like, and the art is so pretty. I'm really, really looking forward to this. It should be a quick, fun read. And I definitely wanted to get this squeezed in before summer is officially over. So this is perfect for that. So that was my pick for Underwater. Then we got a purple. And for this, we got The Lion King and we got Childhood Sweethearts. Because, of course, we have Simba and Nala. And so for this one, I'm not really sure why I'm doing this to myself because this is a denser book, but it's been one I've been wanting to read. And so I'm going to be reading Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And yeah, it is a dense one, but it's not very long, and so it shouldn't be too bad. But it's in their youth, so young love. Florentino and Ariza and Fermina Daza fall passionately in love. When Fermina eventually chooses to marry a wealthy, well-born doctor, Florentino is devastated, but he is a romantic. As he rises in his business career, he whiles away the years in 1622 affairs, yet he reserves his heart for Fermina. Her husband dies at last, and Florentino purposely attends the funeral. 51 years, 9 months, and 4 days after he first declared his love for Fermina, he will do so again. So definitely the childhood sweetheart aspect, and then being reunited, kind of like Simba and Nala were. So hopefully this is really enjoyable, even though it is a little bit dense. I'm still looking forward to it, and it just worked really well for that. So then we got a blue, and for this one, we got another rabbit, and we got another free choice. So, love my rabbit free choices, and again, those just go straight back in, and that way I can pick them. And so for this one, I'm going to pick up Nora Roberts' newest one, Identity. I bought this like the day it came out, practically. I don't think it was the exact day, but pretty close there. And still haven't read it, so definitely time to get it on the TBR. And actually, I'm really wanting to get this one read. So she always does a standalone, like the first part of the year, and then towards the end of the year, she comes out with a book that's part of a series. And her newest series that is coming out, it sounds so good. It's like a timeline and everything, and so I'm really, really looking forward to that. But I definitely want to get the standalone read first. So this one has Stolen Identity. So former Army brat Morgan Albright has finally planted roots in a friendly neighborhood near Baltimore. Her friend and roommate Nina helps her make the mortgage payments, as does Morgan's job as a bartender. But after she and Nina host their first dinner party attended by Luke, the flirtatious IT guy who'd been chatting her up at the bar, her carefully built world is shattered. The back door glass is broken, cash and jewelry are missing, her car is gone, and Nina lies dead on the floor. Soon, a horrific truth emerges. It was Morgan who let the monster in. Luke is actually a cold-hearted con artist named Gavin who targets a particular type of woman, steals her assets and identity, and then commits his ultimate goal, murder. When the FBI tells Morgan is beyond chilling, Nina wasn't his type. Morgan is. Nina was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Morgan's nightmare is just beginning. Soon she has no choice but to flee her mother's home in Vermont. To flee to her mother's home in Vermont. While she struggles to build something new, she meets another man, Miles Jameson, and he isn't flashy or flirtatious, and his family business has deep roots in town. But Gavin is still out there hunting new victims, and he hasn't forgotten the only one who got away. So, yeah, I really tend to enjoy her. She's my favorite author. I enjoy all her works, but I do like her romantic suspense books. So this sounds fun, and I'm excited to finally get it read as well. Then we had 2 discs that we couldn't use because we couldn't move, so we had a yellow and a green. And so for those, the 2 unusable discs, we are going to be reading The Bride Test by Helen Huang. I had several options of books I could go with. I decided to go with this one because it's it's time. And it's a quick, easy read. I really like the autistic rep in here, and so this is the one I'm going to be reading. The first book was The Kiss Quotient. These are all companions, so this is following one of the characters, the side characters from that book. So you have Kai has no feelings. Well, he feels no irritation when people move his things or contentment when ledgers balance down to the penny, but he doesn't experience big important emotions like love and grief. Rather than believing he processes emotions differently to be. Ugh, let me restart that. Rather than believing he processes emotions differently due to being autistic, he concludes that he's defective and decides to avoid romantic relationships. So his mother's driven to desperation, takes matters into her own hands, and returns to Vietnam to find him the perfect mail-order bride. As a mixed-race girl living in the slums of Ho Chi Minh City, Esme Tran has always felt out of place. When the opportunity to marry an American arises, she leaps at it, thinking that it could be the break her family needs. Seducing Kai, however, doesn't go as planned. Esme's lessons in love seem to be working, but only on herself. She's hopelessly smitten with a man who believes he can never return her affection. Esme must convince Kai that there's more than one way to love, and Kai must figure out the inner workings of his heart before Esme goes home and is an ocean away. So this will be nice and easy and quick to read. I also have the third one on the heart principle, and so I definitely want to get this read so I can eventually get that one read as well. So there is that. And then lastly, we finally made it to the North Pole by pulling a blue one, and this one is a fun one. So this was Ice Age and its extinct animals. And so this could be a hard one for sure. And this one is maybe stretching it a little bit because it's more like mythological creatures, but it has a woolly mammoth right on the front, so I'm going with it. And this is Monster Diary on the Road in Search of Strange and Sinister Creatures by Nick Redfern. And since it has the woolly mammoth on there, it works. It has that vibe to it. So, Monster Diary is the latest saga in Nick Redfern's ongoing series of worldwide road trips in search of strange creatures and terrifying beasts. In this transatlantic trek, Redford is hot on the trail of a Mothman-like creature in Wisconsin, giant eels that lurk in the canals of Birmingham, England, a spectral mammoth and a ghostly cat in the American woods, Bigfoot in New Mexico, a chupacabra in the wilds of Oklahoma, vampire-like beasts roaming the valleys of Wales, and California's very own shape-shifting skinwalkers. Monster Diary reveals that many of the unknown animals of our planet are not all they seem to be. They may appear to be flesh and blood creatures, but is that what they really are? Redford sends out to prove that the true nature of the fearsome creatures that dwell in the dark, shadowy woods, atop imposing mountainous peaks, and within the depths of murky lakes and rivers can only be understood with a knowledge of ancient rituals designed to conjure up foul life forms from some terrible realm. Ominous sacrificial ceremonies undertaken in the dead of night and disturbing occult rites. Monsters do exist. Monsters are among us, but they are not what you probably think they are. So yeah, I'm excited, and it looks really interesting, and it has like pictures of actual where are they? Like actual creatures and things and such. So like that's like a frog and whatnot. So yeah, I think it has the right vibes for that prompt, and I'm really excited. I got this at the library sale. So super tiny, super short, and something that would definitely interest me. So that is it. So altogether, that's what 15, 16 books. So about my usual. I did not figure out the page count or anything like that yet. Um, but some of them are a little bit chunky, but they should be quick reads, and I have a lot of really short ones, so it's going to be a great month, and hopefully I can maybe squeeze in a few others if I have a really good reading month. And so yeah, that is it. I know because I'm getting my wisdom teeth, I'm kind of swapping this video will be out early in August. And then my June wrap up will come out later in August. So definitely let me know what you're reading. My genre-thon will actually come out after this video. So you guys are getting a little sneak peek into what the prompt is. But yeah, let me know what you're reading in August, since, you know, it's very early. You probably have no clue what you're reading in September. I like to do my videos very early. I like to have it all planned ahead. But yeah, definitely let me know what you're reading in August, what you're excited for. And I will go ahead and leave you guys here. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.